I know I haven't been live in a bit. Sorry. Um, don't really have a lot, but I did see something interesting on this 350 the other day, and it was interesting in a funny uh-oh sort of way. So I really wasn't planning on taking the bearing cap off of this. I was just gonna basically slap a new top end on it. But it's interesting that when I run this around, the PTO side bearing kind of finds a point where it stops rotating, which means now. Well, I'm going to clean up a little bit of this up while we're waiting for some other people here. But hey, hybrid, Steve, hello. There's an interesting issue that I want to. I think I'm going to tear the bottom end down here. But there's kind of an interesting issue that's popped up. You know what I mean? So, and I have a potential way to fix it. So let's get something cleaned up here and all that stuff. Hey, Ken. So I'm gonna clean up a few things and. Oh, lordy. Just Dave. Okay. Talk to him later. Clean up here. Yeah, I know I haven't been live in a bit, so. Got a toolkit that I got to send out, but it's a surprise for somebody. And when this one's gone, it's the last of the toolkits for at least a little bit. Hybrid, hang on a second. I'm getting a text from my wife here. My little guy's having a birthday tomorrow, turning 6. So, anyway, so Plainville actually has avgas. Airport in Plainville says it's all free fuel. Watkins, $4 or $5 a gallon. That would be good. That would be nice to have, you know. That. Okay. So there's kind of a random issue with the 350 here that makes it kind of unique compared to a lot of the other. Jeez. So the other bottom ends of basically all the other saws that I do, the bearings are pressed on. The 350, the bearings slide on to the crankshaft. And the thing that I noticed is, as this is rotating around, it rotates pretty free, and then the bearing must get to a point where something's not quite smooth, a piece of debris in there, or whatever, and the inner race, it stops rotating. It just stops rotating. So I loaded up at the airport near our vacation up with the guys at FE told Plainville sells to the public. Well, if they have avgas, that's great. I mean, that Plainville airport would be awesome to go get some. I would definitely do that. Hey, Larry. My wife. Okay. So, anyway, the bearings normally are pressed on. If you have a bearing that spins, it's an issue. Is it an issue here? I don't know. Hey, Mega. But something worries me in there. Something's not 100% smooth. Because it just, if you actually look in, and I don't know if we can see this, but let's see if we can do this. I don't know if I exactly have a solution to this problem. You can see the inner race on the PTO side is moving, and then it stops. As I turn this, you can see that the balls, they want to go backwards that way, but not forwards this way. Hey, Boneyard. So, very least, I need to clean out that bearing. But the bearing, the flywheel side one is not tending to do that. It turns normally. So the PTO one, I'm at least a little bit worried about. And then the question will become, is there a air leak there? And the answer is, I don't know. That's tight. Really tight. Boy, did I put those in tight, huh? Jeez. Nobody can say that Maddie doesn't put stuff in tight. And I don't have my usual zip-zips here because they're all outside. Another reason I'm not super ambitious to go live. But whatever. Okay. Do I have a 3/4 thing or just quarter inch things? So this is bolts for the bearing cap. See, I wasn't really planning on taking it this all the way down, but you know what? Oh well. So I get a corner over on this side and lift. All pretty clean, really. Okay. So this bearing, I'm not, sorry, hang on a second. I'm this. Hey, Tim. Boneyard, Tim. Anybody else here I didn't give a shout out to? So yeah, what I thought I would do is actually put some bearing retention compound in here, up against the crank, because that'll help it so it doesn't spin. And this feels pretty good. If there's any junk in here or whatever. Get that cleaned out. The thing is, I don't know if the seal's still good. So, I'm going to put this all back together and we're going to find out whether or not the seal is still good. If the seal is bad, we're going to have to take this all apart again. And then if I've got bearing retention compound on it, it's going to be even more fun. James made it? Good. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep the seals here. Hey, P.A. Dan. I'd like to see what happens. You know, we're going to play. Yeah, the seals don't look bad. The seal looks all right. I mean, weirdness around the outside, but that's just 1184 that's sitting on there. Kind of grody looking. That's pretty smooth. Dude West, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. So, that's pretty good. Yeah, I want to put some bearing retention compound on this. So for those people that are just joining us, got this 350 here that I'm working on. And it's got, yeah, it had, I don't know if it had an air leak or it was not tuned properly or whatever, but it did have a lean condition. And I'm not convinced it's the seals and the bearings. Might as well take this one off too and clean all of this. Clean the crank really good. You're watching from Hungary. I just got off the phone with a guy from Australia. Yeah, I get people from all over the globe. So welcome. Well, this is a 350 that I put together. I put this bottom end together myself. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah, this is a plastic crankcase. So what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of cleaning this up. And I'm going to go take this crankcase and give it a good once, twice, three times over in the sink here. How long ago? I don't know how many hours is on it. Could have been 10 hours on this. Could have been 100. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to replace the cylinder. I've got a new, fairly inexpensive cylinder. Before I find out what's going on with the thing, like I didn't want to risk a really good cylinder, you know. That's good there. Let's clean this bearing off. No, James. I've got mine here. Plenty to compare if need be. The 340 is essentially the same as this. It's the same case, but either way, what you want on it, what you want on them, is the quad port cylinder heads, which come off the 346 XP. You want to pretty much upgrade all those to that. The 340 can be a good running saw. Don't get me wrong. You really got to get these quite smooth. Remember, these bearings, these are 6202s. These work in a 372 XP. So these work all the way up to 70 cc, basically. This is a 50 cc saw. So these are pretty stout bearings, considering the cc's here. So that's going to go outside this with bearing, with brake cleaner too. Just want the whole thing reasonably degreased, you know what I mean? Is it ice cream night at Larry's? Everybody head over to Larry's. It's ice cream night. Alright, you guys chat. I'm going to go clean this in the sink. I'll be back. That's better. Still got the crusties in here though, so I gotta go in there and with a razor, I think. You ordered a secondhand 340 for $150. When was its last rebuild? You don't have to rebuild. Why not? What says you don't have to rebuild it? So you didn't answer the question. When was its last rebuild? It's in good conditions. Define good conditions. Did you change out the intake clamp to metal? Or is the intake clamp metal? All right, so you haven't checked. So if the intake clamp is not metal, then you have to remove the cylinder head to change out the intake clamp, which really means you need to go back through my videos on Husky 350s. There's a tips and tricks video on Husky 350s. Go back through those and look and see, because if there's some really basic stuff that needs to get done to 350s before they can be considered reliable. And one of those things is changing out that metal intake clamp, and that involves pulling the cylinder head. So if that's never been done, then you need to pull the cylinder head, otherwise you're risking the cylinder eating itself. Because the original clamp was plastic, and that happens to that type of stuff. Make sense? So 350s have an inherent problem. It's called a plastic intake clamp. It's a built-in issue. It should have been a recall, but they never made it a recall. So no matter how good the saw looks, it still needs to be rebuilt. Hey, Sean. So diagram, if that's where you're at, then you're looking at, if you're going just off how the saw looks, then as to how good of condition it's in, or even how it runs, it still may not be an indication of effectively what it's worth. Which is why I tell everybody to ask whenever they go buy a used chainsaw. Always ask, when was its last rebuild? On a 350 or 340, if the answer is I don't know or never, then the price has to go down, because there's some really important things to do right off the bat that, if they're not done, can put the saw at risk. That make sense? Everybody with me? Yeah, a basic scoring inspection is good too, but if I look at a 340, 350, and it's got the plastic intake clamp, basically immediately it's a $50 saw. You really don't want to pay any more than $50 for that, mainly because it needs so much work to get it to where, you know, where it would be reasonably reliable. Diagram, does that make sense? Am I talking sense here? Yes, you have to. Well, go back through my other videos. I have videos showing you all the steps. Lost one. Hello. Are you lost? Sorry, I just couldn't help myself, you know? You know what I mean? Yep. Okay. I'll put the 372 kick together. Cool. Do I like the series? They're one of my favorite. Yeah, I like it a lot because there's a lot you can do with it, modifications and whatnot, and you can get them for cheap. At least you should be getting them for cheap. You know, a lot of people don't. They pay too much money for them, but overall, I like the series a lot. You'll notice I've got an extraordinary amount of 350 videos. The 340 can basically be upgraded to 350 status without too much trouble. The biggest upgrade will certainly be to a 346 XP cylinder head. Yeah, OEM stuff on those 372s is a good idea. Lost one. Matt made me buy 7 of them indirectly. Yeah, Ken kind of caught the bug as soon as he met me. He liked the bug for 350s, I guess. What about 390, 385 series? Yeah, you know, I do. I had a 385 for a while, liked it, ended up selling it to a tree service, but if I have a preference, I'll take a 372 or a 395 first. And the reason is because the 385 has a proprietary bearing on the PTO side, and that drives me crazy. Yeah, a lot of guys love the 390 series, 385, 390. Almost done cleaning this, and we'll get the crank back together here. Yeah, the bigger cylinder. You want a 346 XP cylinder kit. That's the one that you want. It's a quad port. There, I got about 200. Dude, Wes, 200 of them. Biggest cylinder you can put on the 350 frame. I saw Homelight, a guy named Homelight 410 actually fit like a 357 or 359 on there, but it was an exceptional amount of work. It was like a lot of machining, and he went in like with a CNC and went in and machined this whole thing, and he did all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, my favorite is a 394. If I had to pick a favorite saw overall, it's probably the Husky 394. Give me a 394 and a 350, and I can do just about anything for a two saw plan. A 372 in between there, and these days often I'm actually reaching for a 272 instead of a 372. I think Dude West can send one of those to each of us, Larry. I think that would be a good idea. So everybody's got their own preference of what they like. The reason a 372 is so appealing is because it's got the same bearings, 6202s, both sides. It has different seals, so it's a little funky as far as the bearings and seal configuration go, but I don't like the proprietary bearing on the 385. I disagree with that fundamentally. So this is a protest effectively. You know what I mean? So it's a little stained, but it's actually quite clean. Yeah, the 272 is just more fun than the 372. The 372, by all respects, is a better saw than a 272. But it's not as fun. The 272 is a fun saw. Just is. I'm gonna go clean this up. We'll be right back. I hate that stupid little O-ring on. Yeah, I hate the O-ring on there too. Sorry, hang on, guys. Ken loves his 262. Yep, the 262 is a fine saw. My hand doesn't go to it. Text me your address and pay for the shipping. I'll send you one free. Supposed to buy 10 of them every 3 months. Oh my god. Yeah, you can use sealant. Hell, you can use grease instead of that stupid O-ring. But um, the thing about sealant is that it's not as retrievable as the O-ring. So it's only a couple bucks for the O-ring. So buy the damn O-ring. You know. Sorry, guys. Am I missing anything? Did I not answer questions? Um, I'm not paying as much attention as I could. You know what I mean? Tools I use for porting. Um, that's a Marathon 3 dental handpiece. It's a lab handpiece. It's very inexpensive, but the actually I'm going to show you that tonight. We're gonna do a little bit of that tonight in just a few minutes. Um, the issue with it is the heads wear out real fast. What brand of cylinder? OEM. The OEM heads are pretty nice and they're pretty inexpensive, and sometimes HL Supply has them on sale for like $90 the kit. And Dude West, I would actually take you up on that deal for the 385s, but I'm just not interested in the 385s. Sorry. Sean, take care, okay? Thanks for hanging out. Okay, it ain't perfect, but that'll do. Okay. So, Mastermind, aka Randy Evans, is one of the best known porters, chainsaw modifiers porters around. I believe he is in Tennessee. I think he's in Jamestown, Tennessee. So yeah, so what I wanted to do. Yeah, Wicked Work Saws is different, by the way. Loctite 660. Where are you from? Am I Australia? No, I'm in Farmington, Connecticut. Loctite 660. This is quick metal, press fit together, repairs worn fast shafts and housings. I think this is bearing retention compound, so I'm gonna try it. Did we lose vid? No, we're good. So I was going to try this on here. And I haven't tried this stuff before. So why not use it on this? You know? So I'm going to put a little. Let's see. Don't know how much I need. Obviously not much. And it comes out kind of snotty. Definitely not smooth or consistent. Okay. And James, don't worry, the Johnson rod's good. I'm just going to throw this on here, basically. That's on there now. And for this one, same deal. I don't need much. Don't want to get it on anything else. And this was cleaned off with brake cleaner, so it should be alright. A little bit of a spin. And down. So now we get to get this up with some 1184. Farmington, Connecticut, USA. I'm in the USA. So I just put 1184 on this on these surfaces here. Tend to think the corners are the most important. And I've used Loctite 518 for this. It does not stick. You basically need 1184. You don't have much choice. Yamabond, Honda Bond, it's basically the same thing. Give it a good spread around here. Put a little blue Loctite for the M6 screws that hold the bottom together. Yeah, Farmington, Connecticut. Pennsylvania, Chicago. Dude West, have a great night. Yeah, near Hartford, near the capital. I'm 10, 15 minutes outside the capital here. Yeah, if you guys want to contact me, um, my email, I'll put my email in here. If you guys want to contact me, I can be a conduit for shipping those 385, 390s around, especially if Larry wants one. I don't mind doing that. You know what I mean? Happy to help out if I can. Okay. So that's been tacking up for a bit. Okay. Don't put it in the wrong direction, obviously. Just gonna seat this right here. Yep, you can shoot me an email. Here's my email address. I've been awful busy these days, but if I can help, I'll help. Dude West, take care. Have a great night. Thanks so much. That should do. This goes towards the intake, towards the carburetor, if you will. And this smooshes down. Just like that. Okay. So now, put our bolts in. I'm going to pull all these in by hand. Hello, Matt. I did not kill the live stream. Lost one. We're good. Stream's still on. Well, it's not plastic thread. The plastic cases are actually pretty strong and pretty light. Too much squeeze out there. Blow on Q-tips. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. Okay. Bathroom to get Q-tips. Let that tack up for another minute and it'll be easier to remove a little bit of more of the excess, I think. Just excess sealant here. Great case for the anaerobic, but the anaerobic does not seal to plastic. See, that's why you need the 1184, basically. Well, the threads are metal in the riser block here. So you have metal screws and you have metal inserts in here too. So as long as you get that to seal, you're good. The long ones I use, I mainly use metric, Matt. This is a for M6, it's a 5mm. For M5, it's a 4mm. For M4, it's a 3mm head, basically, on most of the screws that are here. The majority is 4mm head. Good night, Diagram. Take care. Just clean this up just a little bit. I didn't even lubricate the bearings here. So I will do that as soon as this kind of tacks up a bit more. I want that bearing compound to set, you know. There, that's fine. All right. What kind do I use with the drill? Well, I have a 1/4 inch adapter on this to a 3/8 adapter that goes to a 3/8 extension in Allen, and these are from Harbor Freight. I'll show you. It's this set. So that's all tight there. Need to let the rest of this set, and then I can really lube it up good. But what I did want to do, getting back to the porting stuff, I've got more heads ordered, but this is a E-type latch slow speed head. Goes on an E-type motor. Snap like that. Now, these take latch burrs, but if you want to use like carbides or whatever, you actually have to grind on the carbide, shorten it, grind on it, so it's kind of the exact, you know, whatever you need. So it's a little bit of work. The carbides that are dental carbides, I've found, are not really suited to porting, and the carbides that are suited to porting don't come in latch, so you have to create your own latch system effectively. So what I did the other night, let me clean up here a little bit. I'll put the cap for this. Yeah, I was really not planning on doing a bottom end build on this saw, but you know, whatever. So yeah, so what I needed to do here was, I'm not really intending to do porting on this, mainly because I just want to see if this darn thing doesn't eat itself again, you know. So what I want to do is just make sure the ports are even. Where did... Here's the piston. And the ring and all that stuff. So what you do is you get the ring. I have not tried CC Specialty. The thing with CC Specialty, they are the place for that type of stuff, but I'm pretty sure they don't have latch system, you know, for what we're doing. So, yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm just checking for evenness. And I'm going to have a hard time showing you guys what I'm seeing here, but... So the one towards my thumb, the transfer port towards my thumb, is right on the ring. The other transfer port is a little higher up. So I need to lower that a little bit. I need to open that up a little bit. And if the ring is fairly symmetrical because I pushed it down with the piston, and it's pretty good on both of those. So I want, just for evenness sake, I want to even one of these out. So I go in here with this. And the thing is, these tend to get choppy. A little bit of grease can help on your bit. I've tried like slowing this down and speeding it up, and they just get choppy, and then it eats up the bearings, you know. Hey, Leonard. Tried other burrs. They tend to bounce around. It's kind of annoying. One that's a little coarser. Oh, it takes some time to get this right. Timmons, never find feeds. Well, welcome. Like, as soon as it friggin' touches, the whole thing wants to chatter. If I reverse it here, it's good, but I don't know if the burr's cutting in reverse. All I'm trying to do is even the ports up just a little bit. Actually, it worked pretty good. Kill it, need it? Oh. Bags is on a roll. No. Great. Well, Tinman, if this is your first time to join, welcome. I let everybody know this is not a cooking show. I don't have everything prepared. A lot of nights I don't know what the heck I'm doing. You know what I mean? And plenty of nights I ask you guys for help. Speaking of help, where's Wolfie? So I put the ring back in, and I can see how close I am. Basically, I just need a bevel on it now, I think. You don't know what the heck you're doing? Yeah. I feel like that most of the time, you know? I'm like, geez, shoot, if I knew what I was doing. My rebuilt saw runs 100% of the time, 50% of the time. Yeah, good. Or you mean like 50% of the time it runs 100% of the time? Is that what you're saying? Got it. Let's put a diamond on here so I can get a little bit of a bevel going. And then, oh, I found my ball diamond. Nice. And then this cylinder head will basically be ready to go. I'll show you guys the result here in just a minute. Yeah, most of the time, if you're hanging out, expect to be doing more chatting than paying attention to me. Let me put the ring back in there and show you guys what I just did. So this is a ball diamond on my Dremel with a pencil attachment. And then this is a Dental Marathon 3, again with a, this is actually a dental carbide, a dental lab carbide, but I've ground it to latch. 100% of the shop, 110% at home. Nice. Bet your wife appreciates that. Yeah, the problem with doing port work like this is like, geez, you know, it'll be, you start evening things up and it's kind of like a 4-year-old with a haircut. Even up one side, then even up the other, and even up one side, then even up the other, and pretty soon. And I tried the Dremel. I have not tried the Dremel right angle attachment. I don't know if there'd be enough room to get into a cylinder head. There. Well, James, Larry has ice cream, I think. Come on, yeah, come on down. So there's that. That's certainly more even than it was. And I think that's all I'm going to do there. I mean, I can go crazy opening stuff up, but I'm not going to do that right now. Popcorn time. That's fine. Okay, 19 people here. Jeez. Which usually means it's time to go to bed, which it is. What do I have going? I've got Brian and Ryan are probably coming up this week to buy some saws, which means I still have a 288 left if anybody's interested. I'm literally tonight going to be out of crank tools. So I need to tomorrow contact the metal place and get some more sleeve blanks, I think. Yeah, Tinman, I'm like a grand into this one, and it's still not all OEM and whatnot, but it's got a brand new OEM head on it, which is really nice, and a bunch of new other parts. You know, new bearings, new seals, new this, new that. Yeah, they're pricey to put back together. New carburetor, opened up muffler. It's a sweet saw. So I'd like to get $800 for it plus shipping. If I don't get it, then I'll, hang on to it for a bit. But it's not even ported. But believe me, it's still stout. Still is quite stout. Jesse got his 262, so he's happy with that. I got an email today. Jesse got his 262 delivered. So he's tickled about that, which is cool. Tomorrow night I might have the parts for the 362, for the Steel 362 to put that back together. My buddy just did his 281. It cost a bit to build. Yeah, they do. They cost a pile. Lost on geez, I think I'm in my SE about that much. Yeah. Yeah, you could spend a lot of money on this stuff in a hurry. But anyway, yeah, if anybody's interested in crank tools, they can email me. Tinman, if you don't have a set of my crank tools, you kind of need one. Basically, if you're gonna be a regular here on the channel, you don't have much choice. So shoot me an email. If you haven't seen the crank tools, go back to the other videos and check for them. No problem with us, but yeah, I'm not convinced I made money yet. Lost one. my tax returns show I haven't made anything yet, even with the tools. Spend way too much. You should throw away your Husky tools. Sell them. Yes. Larry, have a great night. Thanks for coming by. Tinman, if you actually get my tools, you're not going to use your Husky tools. I promise you. Try my tools once. You're going to giggle, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah. Have a good night, Ken. Night, Larry. Yeah, if you get my tools, at last bottom in the house didn't fit. You believe me, if you get my tools, they're guaranteed to make you giggle the first time or your money back. No heat. No good. Don't need that. No heat. Completely safe. Completely controlled. You're in control. Slick as butter. Darren, the basic kit will not do the 242. That's correct. I have 242 specific rods um, that you add to the kit because the 242 is odd. It's just an odd saw. It uses M8 by 1.25 right hand instead of M8 by 1.0 right hand for the flywheel, and it uses 3/8 UNC left hand for the clutch side. So yeah, those threads are not common to anything else except for the 242 family, and it's a fairly rare saw that people are rebuilding. You really need my kit to rebuild it, but it's fairly rare that people are rebuilding them. So, um, yeah. Darren, does that answer the question? The main kit will not do 242. A main kit is 170 bucks shipped. If you want a 242 rod to add to that, it's another 30. And anybody that's interested can just send me an email and I'll send you the form letter that outlines the tools. Yeah, the sleeve works. The small sleeve works, but the rod that you need for that small sleeve is going to be unique. So I have a unique rod. It's pretty interesting that the main kit for 170 ship does most everything that people are rebuilding. It really has proven that over a bit now. I think I've sold like 250 kits. So it's pretty interesting, like how the main kit has really taken the dead center of everything, and it's only kind of the outliers that it doesn't do. So I think I'll call it a night. Please don't mention kit prices. My wife can hear. The super duper kit is 2,000. Just so you know. Custom made just for you, Tinman. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Darren, I have a 42 part saw that's I've got completely in parts. Um, I'd like to get rid of it. I also have some 268 part saws I'd like to get rid of. So if anybody's interested, they can let me know. Shoot me an email. Take care, Leonard. Thanks. Again, put my email address here. Get rid of the extra ampersands, obviously. I do that just for purposes of spam. So yeah, I'm actually officially out of kits right this second, but I will get on that tomorrow with my metal guy, and then I gotta do a little machining maybe next weekend. So, anything else cooking, guys? Anything else going? Email me if you got any questions or whatever, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging around. Lost one is still lost. Okay. Um, you guys take care. Be safe. Enjoy your evening. Go have some ice cream. And I'll talk to you guys some other time. If I can be on tomorrow night, I will. We'll see. Take care, guys. Have a great night.